talk show. Let's talk about with Richa. And today I have an amazing, beautiful guest called Amanda Steadman. And I'm so fascinated with what she does. And I'm, taking her session and I just love it. You are in for a treat. Stay tuned and let's meet Amanda. Hello, Amanda, and welcome to the talk show.
Hi, Richa. I hope you're doing well. Welcome, everybody, to this wonderful show. I am beaming in from Mexico, and I'm just trusting and putting in some good vibes and energy to make sure that this transmission stays clear and that you guys can hear me. I've family been told to not touch the internet for the next hour while we're talking and interacting. So if anything else happens, then it's divine luck. So let's trust that we're going to be fine from here on in, Richa. Lovely to be with you again.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I am so excited. Please tell my audience a little bit about yourself, a little bit about your entrepreneurial journey and all the exciting things that you do.
Well, the main thing I think for me is for many of you, I'm sure you've lost a loved one. I lost my mum when I was 20, and she was the best coach in the world. She was just such an amazing mum and taught me how to really succeed in life. And I didn't realize that at the time, but she was actually an entrepreneur. She always made money from nowhere. She was very good at just,
Wow.
she used to bake. She made a baking business. She was married to a military guy. My dad was in the military, but she made like a baking business. Then she ran a restaurant. That she just always seemed to make money from nowhere, and people were just magnetized to her. And so when she died, it left a huge hole. And she died of ovarian cancer. And her mum died of ovarian cancer. Her sister died of ovarian cancer. And then I just got very angry and thought, how did this happen to her? And I remember her recounting a story to me that she went to a counselor, and the counsellor said, oh, as she tapped her on the hand up, I hope you enjoy the time you have left, Mrs. Steadman. And so she was counselled after her sister died, and something in her mind went, I'm next. And within 6 months of that conversation, she had full-blown ovarian cancer. My dad was told at the time when she had the diagnosis that she had 3 weeks to live. And my dad, thank God, never told her that information. He said, do not tell my wife that information. And she lived for almost 2 years. So if you don't get anything else from what I say today, you are one thought away from everything you want, or one thought away from everything you don't. And our thoughts are so powerful, and our thoughts create energy, and it's that energy that creates the beliefs and the habits that create the life and the reality around us. And I've been doing this work for literally half my life now. I'm over 50. Shh, I know, I look 42.
You don't look a day about 25. Definitely not.
Another tip for those of you out there that want to stay a little bit younger, the more energy work you do, the younger that you look. So I'm going to commit to this work because it just brings out the best in you, and it brings out the best in others. So I went on a journey. I traveled the world by myself for 2 years, had amazing adventures in South Africa, Australia, Asia. Didn't get to Norway though. Sorry, need to put Norway on my list.
Now you know a lot of people here, so you can come here too. There's a lot of people who love energy work here as well. So this is an open invitation for you anytime. Yeah.
Well, I am part Northern Irish Scottish, and I have ginger in my line, so I know that I'm Viking descendant, for sure, Viking descendant. So I may not have been there physically, but definitely spiritually. So my life took a whole new trajectory on how can I stop other people going down the same route as my mum? How can I stop people getting sick, disease, low self-esteem, low confidence, not living the life that they really want to live? And so that took me down the path of all the different modalities of hypnotherapy, energy work, self-development, and really figuring out what are the secrets to being confident, having the cash flow in your business, and just being tapped into that power that has our back, and not just being at the mercy of what we think is happening to us. Life is not happening to us, it's happening for us. So what I want to share with you today is just, I will do, if we have time, I'm not sure, how much time do we have today, Richa?
As much as you want. It's my show.
As much as you want. It's my show. I love that. It's my show.
Whatever you want.
Everyone, excellent. So first of all, I want you to just think about in your life right now, just some of those triggers. You might have a partner or children or even your clients or colleagues at work, whether you're in a professional sense, sometimes where you overreact emotionally to something. It could be like a little bit of anger, it could be frustration, it could be sadness that comes up. So I just want you to think about in your life now, where are those little signs? Where is your body and mind going, hey, you haven't dealt with this, and I'm going to keep messing up a few things in your life because you haven't dealt with me. It's like a little thing on your shoulder that keeps popping up. And for a lot of the people I work with, it's anxiety. Anxiety comes up and fear comes up in a big way. And for others, it's anger, frustration at not potentially being where they want to be, being hard on themselves. A lot of ladies and gentlemen I deal with are perfectionists, or they were perfectionists until they work for me. And they have that need to make sure that everything is done right, that everything's perfect, and to the nth of their ability. And that stops you in a lot of ways of moving forward in your life, in relationships, in so many different ways. And so when we learn to control those emotions and get rid of those little bits of negativity that are hanging in our space, both mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually, then we start to free up a lot of energy, because we're energetic beings, into loving more, receiving more money, health, wealth, abundance, all of those things. So I want you now to just close your eyes, and we're just going to do a very brief exercise. And I want you to think about that situation where that emotion came up for you. So whether it could be anger, it could be frustration, it might be a really big feeling. If you're feeling brave today, then I would pick an emotion that comes up the most, even if it feels scary or uncomfortable. The more uncomfortable, the better. So just tune into that uncomfortable feeling, or the scene, or the memory of when you last experienced that emotion that you didn't like. Okay, just bring that emotion up. Take a nice big deep breath in and out. And just as you're talking to that emotion, I just want you to say now, so subconscious mind, I want you to just open a little bit. There's a message that we need. You're trying to send us a message. So we're going to ask you a quick question, and whatever answer comes back, and if an answer doesn't come right now, we'll expect it to come at some point in the future. But what are you trying to tell us from this event, memory, or emotion? What is it we need to know? What is it we need to know and release? And so whatever's coming up for you now, I want you to just imagine that it's now a color. Whatever information, whatever feeling it is, it's a color. And then I want you to put that color into your left hand. And in the right hand, we're just going to ask our subconscious mind, what is the lesson? What do we need to know? What energy do we need to move forward from this? And so leaving that energy in your right hand. And then wherever you're feeling it in your body, again, just if you have to use that color like an eraser, a magic eraser, just take the color or a ball of that color and just in your mind, move it over that area that might still be feeling discomfort or that frustration or that negative emotion. And I want you to just use that ball of light and allow it to kind of really take that feeling out of your body and then put it into your left hand. And if some of it's a little bit there's a little bit of residue, don't worry. We're just doing this for an exercise today. This is an exercise you can repeat until that feeling goes. We want to be masters, mistresses of our emotion here. So with those two hands now, we have the color in the left hand and we have the energy in the right hand. So I want you to now pick a color for the energy. I want you to think of that feeling of peace, alignment, love, generosity. Mostly peace. I'm just tuning into what you guys need to hear, future audience. And it's this feeling of peace, this overall feeling of feeling in control, peace and approval, just having that permission slip. So let's just pop all that into the right hand now. And I want you to pick a color for that. So subconscious mind, if everybody's listening, I want you to just choose a nice color for that energy ball in the right hand. Something that you need to upgrade and remedy what's happening in the left hand. And so now, everyone, I want you to physically put both your hands together and just imagine that that color that you chose for the right hand is now overlapping with the left hand. And just imagine that that colored energy ball now is going into your heart center and expanding into the rest of your body. And I'm just going to send you just some energetic frequencies now through my hand, just to make sure that that is nicely just releasing and transmuting across all time and space. Just a little layer of negative emotion that you don't need from today. And you'll have access to, hopefully, to this recording, to Richa's show, so you'll be able to repeat this. And I highly recommend you do this as regularly as you can to get rid of those emotions that are at the surface. So take a nice big deep breath in, breathing in love and peace, and breathing out anything else you don't need. And gently open your eyes and come back to me.
Wow.
There we go. There
Thank
you go.
Thank you. Yeah,
Now,
it
normally, go on.
that feels so good. Um, yeah, I just want to say you guys do this because I could really feel it touching my heart when you say it, you know, for me it was in the right hand, it was a little bit of light and golden, like white golden, but then I had a little bit of pink in it. My favorite color is pink. But golden too, you know. So it was amazing just to feel that light going into the heart. So thank you. Thank you so much. Guys, you have to do it many times, as Amanda said. You know, I also do a lot of meditation work and I guide it. But sometimes when you've done it long enough to guide others, you just want to be guided yourself, to release, not to be, guiding. Because if you keep on guiding yourself, you kind of, sometimes I kind of feel I hit the wall because I need somebody else to take me to the next level, and then I can relax when somebody else is guiding me. So this is really working. Thank you, Amanda, so much. But
My pleasure.
I just love because I got the chance to take away your hypnotherapy for clearing the money blockages. And that was so exciting. Can't you tell a little bit about that kind of work that you do?
Well, essentially, I've been very blessed. I've been doing this work for about 25 years, hypnotherapy, neurolinguistic programming, became a Reiki master, business and life coach. Every modality that I could possibly learn, I literally jumped on because I always want to know what's the best, fastest way. None of us are getting any younger, people, unless you do a lot of energy work. But I want to get there fast. I don't want to have 10 or 12 months of therapy. I'm like, I want to get there now. And so what I found with most clients is blocks primarily, the blocks are primarily come from childhood. They do. Most of them come between 0 and 7 or 7 and 14. So what we have to do is we have to go into our mind and essentially go back in time. And for those of you that love quantum physics, the more work I do in this area, the more I realize that everything is actually happening all at once. And our human brains can't always contain that information. So I do my best to keep it simple. But essentially, we go back in time and we kind of rewrite the movie. We go back in time to rewrite the movie and make sure that whatever the event was potentially didn't even happen in your mind. So for people that experience a lot of trauma, I would go back and, with their permission and with their subconscious mind's permission, just take the event out and just say, oh, it was a movie and you don't like that movie, so let's just delete it. Let's just get rid of the app. We work in a very simple way. We overcomplicate it. But when you make friends with your subconscious mind, there's so many changes that you can make. And almost 6 years ago now, just before COVID hit, I was in the middle of a session and this language started to come out of my mouth. And I was like, what is going on here? I've always been the black sheep of the family. For those of you that don't always have, you're not always on the same page as your family. I've always been very different, always been the one that was entrepreneurial, traveling, always living life on the edge, which scares the pants off my dad most of the time. But that's just the life that I've chosen. And so I wanted to see what we could do with energy. And as I was working with a client, I was just really focused on the intention of healing them from my heart. And as I said, this language started to come through. And at the end of it, the client said, "Oh, what was that? What language were you speaking?" And I said, "I'm not actually quite sure." But they said they felt absolutely amazing, and they didn't have any other pain. They came off pain meds. They couldn't sleep. They had arthritis beginning in their hands. And basically, after that language, that frequency came through me and into them,
Mm.
their physical symptoms all went away completely.
Yeah.
So what I found was, yeah, it started to do something. It started to kind of change something. Yeah. So I was with the client and they asked what language it was. And what we found is after the frequency went into them, that all those symptoms stopped. The pain in the hands, the headaches, and they just felt completely different.
Mm.
And after that, I had to kind of go, I don't know what happened just then, but I'll just start to investigate. So I started to research a little bit, and then it started coming up on its own, especially when I'm by the ocean. I can feel the kind of pressure, and then the language comes out. And as I started to talk to some of my colleagues here, I live in Mexico, and there's a huge community of spiritual business people and spiritual healers. And they said it's like language, Amanda. You're tuning into the quantum and bringing through frequency to heal people. And of course, I was very shy about it. I didn't really do anything with it publicly for like a couple of years because it was very unusual. But I
Yeah.
did start using it in all my hypnotherapy sessions. And clients kept saying that they could see things. Their mother came through, their brother, their partner. They saw light, they had images of different things. And so I started to think, hang on a minute, there's really something in this. Something is happening. I can't explain it. It makes me a little different. But there are other people that are starting to do this as well. And I think what's happened is a lot of people are just really tuning into the quantum, into source, into spirit.
Yeah.
And we're all being guided to help each other, to collaborate, to bring each other back to alignment. That's what it's back, coming back to who you really are, realizing you're an infinite being, you are connected to God, to source, to the divine. And this year, especially, we're all being called forward to really grow in our businesses so that we can have more abundance, to make more of an impact and a difference in the world, and to realize that we have so many more gifts just inside us before we start thinking about what we have on the outside. The real secret is what's going on inside, that inner work, which I know you love helping people with as well, Richa.
Yeah.
Just having that, I like you, I get paid to do what I love. I get paid to take someone from suffering and grieving over their husband that died of a heart attack, a month ago, to actually being okay. And he maybe pops through and says, don't worry, it's okay. And they get that release, they get that permission slip that it's okay to move forward with their life. It's just so life-changing, and it's priceless.
Yeah.
And I just love the fact that I get paid to do that, to reduce the suffering. I'm so fulfilled when I see the suffering goes down. That's what drives me. And so, like you, Richa, this year we really want to focus on getting out to more people and saying, hey, you don't need to suffer. And even if you've just got some of those little emotions coming up about money blocks is just you denying yourself. When you get that, you really turn the light bulb on and realize how important and how valuable the results are that you give to the world, then those money blocks disappear. Because when you're convinced and you know the results you give to people, you're not selling, you're serving. You're just putting an offer out there saying, look, I've got an 8-week course. I want to deal with 12 goddesses. I want to get you from being not so sure, not making the money you want, to really stepping into, this is what I do. This is who I am, unapologetically. This is going to be the best decade of my life, and it starts now.
Yeah.
That's the space you want to be. That's the energy you want to be in.
Yeah.
Things are still going to happen. We're still going to have stress. We've got kids. Richard and I have children. Things are going to happen. But then when you go up to that different frequency and you're activated, that's what happens. That's what I do. I activate something in you, your DNA, your presence, your energy, where you just move up a level and life just becomes easier.
Yeah.
It just becomes easier. It's frequency.
And I think you said a keyword earlier, that confidence. Because I had a session with you before I went to India with a business delegation. And knowing that I was vibrating on the right frequency gave me that confidence that everything is going to go. the way I wanted it to go, you know. And when you step into that, you know, that confidence, but you step into a meeting or into a space with that belief, and the end result in mind, you do everything. You act differently, you behave differently, you get dressed differently, you put on your makeup differently, you know, you act as if you have got the goal, you know, and it's there. And yeah, so that was amazing. I mean, I kept you in my mind, and that confidence was there. Definitely, I was stepping into a new territory, and I was like, why the hell am I going there? You know, what am I? You know, the little me from Norway. But it went so good. So I really, really loved your session. And but you're doing all of this and doing it for more than 20 years, and you know, your family and your business and all of these areas that you have mastered. When it comes to the end, how do you define success?
How happy I am on a daily basis.
Yeah.
How much joy do I get to have on a daily basis, and really being in the present moment. I've done a lot of speaking, done a lot of summits and launches over the last few months, and I just, for me, I love my family. I love spending time with my family. I have two teenage children who are growing up so fast, and I had to go through that process of allowing them to not need me.
Yeah.
And that was probably one of my toughest lessons the last 18 months, because they were very mummy, you know, I'm their coach. And the last year and a half, you know, boyfriends are starting to creep in, and social media and all those things. And it's like, oh, they don't need me anymore. And so that was a they say don't take it personally, but you do, you know, it's coming. So that was hard for me. So now when I'm in those spaces in between work, I'm so present with them, really focused on listening, being present. And that gives me so much joy because of the tools that we have, Risha.
Yeah.
I don't know about your children. I'm sure they're like mine. They're very grounded. They're emotionally intelligent. They are loving. They are empaths. They are solution orientated. So I do feel a lot of my joy and my feeling of success comes from bringing up two human beings in the best way that I knew how. And so I'm feeling a bit emotional. My mum wasn't there physically. I could still speak to her, but
Yeah.
she wasn't here physically for me. So bringing them up without being able to ring up and say, "Hey, mum, what do I do? Ava's just done this," you
Yeah.
know, was hard. I struggled. I had to be a super intuitive mum
Yeah.
in terms of how they were brought up. So for me, having two human beings that are on a path to also change the world for the good, for me, is a huge indicator of success.
Yeah.
I live in paradise. It's beautiful sunshine outside. I've got a beach 8 minutes away from me. I have a wonderful husband who loves me, who supported me on my journey to um, woo woo and woo woo and wealth, blending business and spirituality together,
Mm.
which again was another lesson. How do I get paid to do what I love, but be paid well to
Mm.
do what I love? So merging those two was a huge factor for me. And I think looking forward, my new definition of success is still that joy on a daily basis. But again, I want to have more impact. So my next little step is, how can I get to more people?
Mm.
And so I've just put out to the universe, you gave me this job, so give me some leverage to get on the right stages, to connect with the right people, to get to those clients. And for those of you that are in business, another exercise I would do, and again, we don't need to do the full thing, but just in terms of the clients that you want to get to, if you're in business or if you're in a professional position, the clients within the business that your business wants to get to, really focus on the joy and the gratitude from those future clients. That's a really great way to magnetize and pull in people to your world.
Mm.
Because if you're not going to do that video, like Richa, you talked about confidence. If you're not going to go and get those business deals, you're not going to present those offers to the people and get the sponsorship that you need, then you're not going to get to maybe those 20 people that you would have got to if you hadn't asked that question when you went to do that India trip.
Correct.
So that pulls you through that, who needs me now?
Yeah.
And if you keep putting it off, what's going to happen to that person if you don't get to them? And I don't mean that in a guilty trip kind of way. I just mean you're here, you have your purpose, you need to share
Yeah.
your gifts. Like me, it made me more woo-woo to do the frequency medicine, the quantum shifting. But the difference that it's made just in my town here, people know me. I get referrals all the time because of the results that I'm bringing, because I believe in what I do. I feel it in my bones. I feel it in my energetic field. You should feel it from my voice and the way I'm speaking to you now. You are
Exactly.
worthy. You are an infinite being. You just need to get out your own way. And I know you all know this consciously. You wouldn't even be listening to Risha's show if you didn't get it consciously, logically,
Mm.
but energetically. Sometimes we just need help to just go up.
Yeah.
So my job is to just lift you up to that next level. And then most people, some people coast and some people just go wee like this. Some of my clients will just get it and their DNA will be activated into healing or singing or whatever their mission is supposed to be. And they just off they go. And it's just wonderful to witness.
Yeah. Yeah, it's amazing. And as I said, sometimes you feel that you're very close, but you just need that little push to get to that level that you want to. You've done all the work. You are very ready. It's just that little energy push, and it's there. And for other people who need to maybe be helped pushed a little bit more, both ways, you'll get there. You just keep on having the focus on what you want. But yeah, I love your definition for success. It's beautiful. And I think it's very important that what you're saying that obviously in different fields of life, we feel the success differently. So I love the way you explained it. But as I hear, you live in paradise. So how do you manage your time?
Well, the sun comes up here around six-ish. Usually, I'm awake by then, so I do meditate. Meditation for those of you, if you're again, if you're connected with Risha, you're probably doing it already. But for any of you that aren't making meditation part of your day, that is your gateway to your success. It's the gateway to you. It's the gateway to creating those thoughts and getting that Zen zero calm space before you open your phone. People, do not open your phone until you've just taken at least 5 breaths and said, I'm gonna do my best to stay. How can I stay in joy today?
Mm,
Before you even touched your phone, how can I stay in joy today? And again, consciously, this all sounds super easy and whatever, but if you just do that every day, take 5 deep breaths, say, how can I stay in joy today? Before you touch your phone, that's the biggest thing that gets in the way of everything. Then that's the start. And I do have all different kind of meditations. If you go to my website, and Risha, I know we'll put some information below. I do have an app and meditations that will take you there. For really busy people, we have 5-minute ones, so you have absolutely no excuses. Busy mums and ladies, there's a really nice 50-minute Love the Goddess Within, which is a really good one. That I'm kind of sending out to people that want to have a goddess journey with me. So I'll talk about that towards the end.
yeah.
But that's a really good meditation that I'd like all of you to have, because it just really gets you into the right spot for the day. It connects you with your feminine energy. It connects you with everything that you need to go through your day in that joyous sphere. And I manage my day mostly with Google Calendar, if I'm honest. I'd be lost without Google Calendar,
Isn't
my
it?
phone.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we get so busy. I think because of the social media, I think our attention spans have really shrunk down. So it's Google Calendar. It is a paper diary, which I have behind me. I have a paper diary, alarms in my phone, and I have a very beautiful team of divine guides who, if I've forgotten something, they will actually nudge me. I'll get Amanda, you haven't made this call, or connect with this person. So I do have an executive assistant, which is my divine team, and I get nudges that come through in the form of images and people. And this morning I was probably talking too much in my aligned business mastermind group, and then a video just started for no reason on my computer, and I took that as a sign for, okay, I'm just sharing too much here. So I went, that's a sign that I need to close the call. I'm sharing too much. So that kind of thing happens all the time. My divine team are super connected, and I get all the divine nudges that I need to make sure that I get most of the things done during the day. But I don't know about you, Risha. I overestimate pretty much every day what I can do in every day. And my husband's always saying, Amanda, you need to be more realistic with what you can achieve in a day. I do a lot because I love what I do, and the lines between work and play are very blurred because I just love what I do and I love learning.
Yeah.
So the short answer to that is divine team, Google Calendar, and meditation,
And meditation.
making sure that day's set up correctly.
Nice, nice, very nice. And And you talked about a little bit about how you stay healthy and in shape, and if you have a routine, and you said the first thing you do is meditate. Do you do other things to keep, focus on your health?
I'm very lucky. I have a pool here, so I do swim. It's we complain here. It's a little bit cold now for us. It's cold between November and March. I say cold. It's 28 degrees, but that's cold for us because we're used to like 38 and sweaty. It's just a nice temperature now. So the sea is actually warmer than the pool. So I do meditate, and then 2 to 3 times a week I will go to the beach,
Mm.
and I will swim at the beach for maybe half an hour, 40 minutes. For some reason, the light language really likes the sea, so that will come up, and I'll be talking to myself in the sea. Not too close to people because they'll think I'm crazy. So I kind of connect. It's like my connection time. And then I come back here. Usually the kids are up. We homeschool, so I get all that underway. But it's primarily swimming, walking, cycling. I do a mix of yoga and Pilates a couple of times a week by myself. I'm not so good at getting to groups because of time. And that's about it really. Nutrition
That's
wise,
a lot. That's a lot. That's a lot to keep you active, and, swimming and yoga, Pilates, and, all of these things are really good things to, you can stay connected with the body. So that's amazing.
and nutrition wise, because we're here, we have access to really great fruit. So I live on papaya basically.
Oh, wow.
I do
I
a lot of
I
papaya
would probably
smoothies.
do that too if I lived in like a tropical weather area. But in Norway, it's not easy to get that kind of fruit. You'll get it, but they won't taste much if you get it in the winter
Yeah.
time. So they will come in summertime and it will be better. But whenever I go to like warm countries and they have other kind of fruits, I almost live on that. I can happily live on fruit if I have to, in other countries. So,
Yeah, fruit's very big here. And then I did do like a health eating thing last year. And when I feel that I'm happy, because my body doesn't like too much sugar, even fructose. If I have too much fruit, my body doesn't like it. I can
yeah,
feel it in my hands.
yeah.
Then I'll switch to green juice, and we have lots of what do you call it? Cilantro. It's called cilantro in Spanish. I'm having a coriander. So I have coriander, um, cucumber,
Mm.
avocado. The avocados here are great as well, obviously. Avocado and celery. I keep thinking everything in Spanish. So I'll blend that up, and that's what I call an alkagizer. It's very
Yeah,
alkaline. So I'll
yeah.
have that just in the morning up until 12,
Mm,
and that really helps my brain function.
mm,
And in terms of supplements, I take moringa seeds, not moringa leaves or moringa tea, but the actual seeds.
seeds.
You break open the husk and have 3 of those, which boost your immune system like I've never seen. Then glutamine for gut health and probiotics,
Yeah.
and then loads of water. But I'm a woman in my 50s, so in terms of hormone regulation and digestive health, gut health, that's really helped me. I keep it really simple. I was taking 20 supplements. Now I only take those 3 or 4. So anyone with gut issues or digestion issues, obviously you need to speak to your doctor. But for me, I found that those seeds, probiotics and glutamine really help the digestive tract. So I highly recommend speaking to your doctor about those particular supplements.
Yeah. No, thank you so much for sharing that. I think it's important for people, and especially entrepreneurs, because we work for ourselves. I mean, anybody who,
Energy, it gives you energy.
everybody and anybody should take care of their health, but it becomes even more important for entrepreneurs. So, because if you don't have your health, it's very difficult to create wealth. So, and that is your health is the most important thing for your wealth. So, yeah.
Well, I do find that living in a warmer climate, I mean, if I was in Norway, when I was living in the UK, I wasn't swimming 3 times a week. I wasn't being on the bike. I wasn't walking. I was doing a little, yoga and Pilates in the living room. But because we live in an outdoor place, you are outdoors every single day.
Mm.
So for those of you living in a cold climate, I have to be honest, I mean, I know you're determined. Some people can get to the gym, you can do the sauna. And I know you guys are crazy there. You do the sauna and then you jump into ice water and do all that
I
crazy
don't.
stuff, which is
I don't.
super,
I
super
don't have
healthy.
I don't have one single cell in my body that is Viking. I'm 100% Indian, so I don't do this crazy stuff. I try to keep it inside when it's like pretty cold, and I'm not that adventurous when it comes to the cold. Like outdoor activities when it is cold outside. I'm just not. But I'm born here, so my life is here. But I just recently shared a dream with my husband, which we dreamt many times, with open eyes, that I want to kind of move to a warmer country, and I think I'll feel better seeing the sun every morning. Today it has been a very, very gray day, so we haven't seen the sun. Obviously, the sun is up because we have daylight, but just
Yes,
to see the sun and feel the sun on your skin, it can get many weeks without us getting that experience, which is difficult. Makes it difficult to live in places like that, especially for me. But this is my life, so I'm grateful for what I do have, because when it is summer here and spring here, there is
it's
nowhere that
beautiful.
is beautiful, more beautiful than Norway. So for 8 good months, I can survive 4 bad ones.
He's right, yeah.
So
80 months is pretty good. I have one of my great friends, she's actually Mexican, married to an Estonian. So she spends 10 months in Estonia and 2 months here. And then I have some other friends that are Swiss and Mexican, and they do 4 months Europe and 8 months here. Because
yeah,
the summers here, guys, is unbearable.
yeah,
June to September, I've said to my husband, do not make me do another summer in Mexico. I need to go to Europe. So we will be doing Europe this summer. So yeah, just create the dream, have that, 4 months somewhere else, Risha. I
yeah,
know with children it's hard because we have
definitely,
schooling, but
definitely.
there's always a way around it to have that format. And lots of families do that here. They're European or American or Canadian. They do the summers in their home country and they do the winter here.
Yeah.
Create your own reality, create what you want. And I do
Yeah,
find
we
that, I've
really
been
want to
away.
do that, and I used to travel a lot, but this year I'm gonna stay put. Maybe that is also why I want to kind of travel more. But yeah, I do
Mhm.
travel a lot in winter time because I need the sun better. So it is so true. We create our own reality and we create our own, life. I'm a big believer of designing our own life and then live it like we design it. And but as you said, life will still on happening, like while you're doing all the things, finding the balance. So everything might not go exactly the way you wanted, but a little detour doesn't matter. It's not what, it doesn't take away my focus from my destiny. So before we close, I really want you to, if you have any advice for the newcomers, the new entrepreneurs, or the startups, do you have any advice for them?
Get a VA as soon as you can afford one. Seriously,
It's a
yeah,
very good
you can get VAs for maybe $10 an hour, and even if you just hire them for 2 hours a week, I delayed getting VAs because I wanted to control everything. No one could do anything as good as me. I took a long time, and it really delayed my back office things like email sequencing, all the stuff that's very logical and for me absolutely boring, but absolutely essential for your
advice.
business. I
Yeah.
love the nurturing. I mean, I'm still dealing with clients on WhatsApp. Most of my clients are on WhatsApp, so I send them personal messages. I'm very hands-on. But a lot of the email and
Mm.
marketing stuff in the background, I've outsourced, and it took me a long time to trust people to do that. Again, I still feel they're not doing it as well as I can.
But at least it's
I'm a
being done.
recovering perfectionist.
Yeah, at least
Yeah,
they are being done. Even might not be the way you would have written it, maybe not chosen that photograph or whatever. But at least it's being done. There is no silence, at least, there's something going out and you're being in touch, and, the back office is still working.
yeah.
So,
I still think most people, if you're in business, and the other thing is a lot of startups think that they can start a business without money. It takes money to run a business.
yeah,
And the one thing that my mentor said to me is they said it's either going to take you time, which is money, or it's going
yeah,
to take you money and save you time. So either way, it's going to cost you. So decide which way you want to go. And the other thing is make sure that you're focusing on what I call the needle moving tasks in your business. I know when I first started business, I would spend weeks, months designing a business card. I get so sidetracked by the looks of things. Do you know, and I know people now, if do not spend thousands of dollars on a website. Do you know what the conversion rate of, I was talking to one of my mentors yesterday. The conversion rate for websites now is 1%.
yeah.
That's how low conversions are on websites. Now, if you've got a landing page or what we call a squeeze page, and I'm going to send you to one of mine as an example, it has get your meditation and a video and a picture, and that's it. You only people's attention spans are so short now. You only want to ask them to do one thing. So whatever your product or service is, or you're trying to get leads in, just get them focused on the one thing, because it does need to be, I mean, it does need to be pretty. Whatever's there, make it pretty, but don't have 25 million things on it. Just where do you want the customer to go? They're going to give your website maybe 7 seconds of attention. So what do you want them to do when they hit that? And on your post, on a post, you're going to get maybe 2 seconds. So what's your call to action? Connect with me, get this free download. What's the number one thing in business that you're struggling with? Things have got to be done in literally about 10 or 20 seconds now. Yeah. So whatever your business is and you're want to get clients in, make sure that you understand the real problem that you're solving for them and articulate that in the best way you can, and use ChatGPT or Claude to do it. Don't get stuck on writing things, debating everything. AI can do it for you in seconds, and then get on and do the stuff where you're face to face with your customer, whether it's a video or in person. I know for me, people buy from me when they've experienced me in a talk, a meditation, or a summit. They go, oh, there's something about Amanda, and then they reach out. Yeah. So the more you can do video, and video is the way it's going. Even those posts on Instagram now aren't getting as much attention as the 10-second reels. We're in an attention-seeking society now, whether you like it or not. So the more you can be visible, the more they can experience who you really are. Go for it. And if you're shy on camera, do voicemail. Whatever it is, they need to hear you and see you. So that's what I'd say to new business people. Be very aware of the stats when you're collecting leads and going out into the marketplace. People need your problems and need your solutions. So make sure you communicate that in the shortest, best, easiest way possible so they can connect with you.
Thank you. Thank you. Amazing advice. Thank you so much.
Those of you, if any of you resonate with me and you like my message and you can feel the energy and the transformation that is waiting for you, I am here to serve. So I'd like you to connect, and I will give you the information, Richa, which will go below this video. I want you to listen to the Love the Goddess Within meditation and activation. I've woven in some secret, powerful energy into that to help you get clear, to expand your intuition. And when my voice resonates with you and it's the right time, I would love for you to reach out and connect with me and see how I can quantum shift you into that next frequency to make your life go with more ease, grace, and flow.
Wow, amazing. Thank you so much, Amanda. That is so generous of you. So people, everybody connect with Amanda. I'm going to put all the link, all the contact information so you can connect with her, follow her, and consume more of her work. And if you can, book a session with her sooner than later, because why wait, you know? Everybody needs a little bit of help to get to the next level, whatever level you are on. And this is one of the best things I ever did. So I highly recommend it. Connect with her. And until next time, take care of yourself, be kind to yourself and to others. Bye.
Thank you, Richa.